Hello, BookTube. I'm back with this. Well, it's been an ongoing right now series, but I think it's going to continue occasionally after I've sort of um, done everything I can think of. I've decided a title on this. I'm calling it Book Trifles, and there is a now a playlist for the ones I've looked at. Underlining in books, highlighting, that kind of thing, footnotes, endnotes, decal edges, French flaps, you know, different kinds of publishers. So this time I'm going to look at the uses of books. Yeah, there's many uses throughout history, and in no way is this going to be an exhaustive list. But in Victorian times, paper was scarce in many ways, and there was the recycling of it and reuse, where fishmongers and so forth, they would use books and they'd just rip out pages and wrap up bits of meat and so forth in the pages, um, as well as lining, say, trunks, things like that, and just literally reuse, using it as sort of lighters that you would light, maybe to light cigarettes, or to light the gas, things like that. Just to crumple it up, and there you go. Uh, Also, too, there's a whole science, almost, I guess you could call that, called fragmentology, where there has been studies now of like there'd be bits of manuscripts used in the binding of books later. They'd be in the spine, so there'd be bits of other books in books. So they'd use pages or the leaves to do this. And this is sort of been starting to get cataloged and photographed when books are repaired or rebound. And this is a whole. There's symposiums, all sorts of things, and it's a whole new area of study for books, because they are finding at times fragments of books, hence the name fragmentology. Fragment of books that have been long lost, uh, and there's treasures to be found in old books, in that sense. And we come to sort of modern day. There is a whole section of people that take old books and carve them. They use it as sort of sculpture. They will either carve right into the cover and everything, or they will carve out and make a sculpture of it, of several books and things like that, artwork. Um, and it does go against the grain at times, because you think of books as something sort of almost sacred. However, you know, there is, just a plethora of books out there, and there's going to be those books that just never sold. And now the print runs are limited to a certain extent, but there's always has been those in the past that there's tens of thousands of these books that nobody wants, basically. You can pick them up for a dime a dozen. So people have put them to other uses, and and people use them as decoration, just simple decoration, without content, caring for the contents. Like, for instance, like I got some, or I have occasionally got emails and comments about my books here saying, "Oh, I'm very aesthetic. In my look, I color coordinate books, but the rest of around in my background is horrid. But I've done really well there, putting all the color, all the blue books and the gold together." It's like, well, it's a set. Hmm. I find it just weird that people colorize their books and make a rainbow of it. Even it's like, whoa. I don't get that, because I want them in subject areas, if I possibly can do it, so I can locate something. So there's people that do that, and in pubs and other places, it literally just is decoration, old books, decoration, or, as I say, colors. You can buy the books by the yard. It's always been around. In other places too, they'll take a book. Let's use an example here. They'll take a book like this and they'll saw it in half there, and then glue it to the wall, like connect it to the wall as if they're bookshelves. To each their own, I suppose. But it just it'd be wondering what they're carving up for these things. Uh, so yeah. So what do you use books? What are your uses for books? So I've said all these things. Yeah, like I think I've covered most of these. Oh, I forgot reading. Yeah, reading. Books used as reading. Novel idea. No pun intended. So yeah, let me know what uses you put your books to. Do you, when they're falling apart and there's nice pictures in them, do you disassemble a book or get a book with plates in and frame them, or use the plates? People have done this, and they've disassembled books purposely to sell the plates, or even Gutenberg Bibles, Shakespeare's first folios. They have disassembled books in order to make more money by selling the separate leaves or pages. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Take care, BookTube.